Hello students, I am Frederick Sir here. In this particular module, I am going to explain the poem Animals by Walt Whitman. Before I begin, let us talk about the poet. Walt Whitman was born in 1819 and was dead by 1892. He was an American poet, an essayist, and a journalist too. He broke the tradition of rhymed and metrical poetry. Traditionally, poetries were rhyming, but in his age, he broke it. How? He was famous for writing a revolutionary new kind of poetry, which was in free verse, without rhyming. Each line was free to each other. It was not rhyming to any other line in the verse. The poem Animals is from his work Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass. So he has published so many poems, but this is one of it. Walt Whitman has shown the comparison between human beings and animals in his poem. In this particular poem, Animal, he has pointed out the evils present inside the human brain, which he thinks animals don't have. That is why he thinks that animals are much better than human beings. You can see I have two clips here I will play, and you can see how humans and animals behave. You must have seen this clip before, but still you can watch it to be clear why the poet Whitman compares between man and animal, and why he chooses to be in the kingdom of animal and not in human. Let us see the first clip, then second clip.
चाय बेच रहा कि मर रहा है बे?
कटिंग या फुल?
तू दे कटिंग दे और निकल यहाँ से चुपचाप।
200 रुपए।
अबे चाय बेच रहा है, सोना बेच रहा है बे?
ओके, फ्री मिले। चाय, 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 चाय।
So look at the surrounding of this clip, how dirty it is and how both of them behave to each other, They don't, portray the characteristic of humans, You can see how they are behaving to each other. Now the next clip you can see. See, in this clip it shows that even humans see the tap, the water flowing out, still they don't close. But the animal, the monkey, has the sense of closing the tap and save water. So this is how animals and humans behave. That is why the poet wants to be in the form of animals, wants to be in the kingdom of animals, not with the humans. So let us see what are the other reasons that poet wants to be in the kingdom of animals and not in human. Let me explain you, line by line. First two lines. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so plushy and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. Here, placid means calm or peaceful, and self-contained means to keep up control. So in these particular lines, the poet says that he wants to live in the world of animals. Here we can say that the poet finds the world of animals better than that of human beings. He further says that he finds animals more peaceful than humans. He says so because animals are not running after worldly things like human beings. They are calm and have no greed for worldly things or any kind of achievements. They are self-contained, means they are happy with life and never interfere in the lives of others. Humans have the habit of interfering in the lives of others. So poet thinks that animals are better than humans for being calm and not interfering in the matters of others. The poet further says that these are the reasons why he stands still and looks at the animals for a very long time. In these two lines, you can see I have highlighted in red some of the alphabet, the letters, and these are the literary devices I wanted to highlight. First is assonance. Assonance is the use of vowel sound I. You can see how I sound is repeated in these lines in a single line. So when a vowel sound is repeated, it's called assonance. But when consonant, you may ask, that is consonance that is said. But here in this poem, we don't find any consonance. Next is repetition, use of the word long. It is repeated twice. You can see here long, long. The another is the anaphora. I word used at the start of two consecutive lines. In the first line, even in the second line, I is used. So when each line and it is repeated in the beginning of each line, it's called anaphora. But don't get confused with assonance and anaphora. Let us move to the next lines. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Yes, sweat or whine, sweat means here complaint, whine means to cry, and since the wrongdoings. Now demented means mad or disturbed. So in these particular lines, the poet says that unlike humans, animals don't complain of any misery. They never cry out like humans do to show that they have lost. They never stay awake in the night crying in repentance for their wrongdoings. This means that animals are different from human beings because they don't show anger or grief if something wrong happens with them. He further says that animals are very truthful because they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. He says so because most of the human beings do this. They try to show their good deeds and religiousness to others. They do so in order to gain popularity among their fellows. So the poet thinks that animals never irritate him by doing such things just to gain some praise from their fellow people. He feels that the animals are not dissatisfied like humans. They stay happy with whatever they have. They never run behind worldly things. They never try to possess things of comfort or luxury. He says that none of them is mad being owning the worldly things. Also in this poem, you can see some literary devices I have underlined. They do not its repeaters. Again, it is when it repeats in each line, in the beginning of the line, it's called anaphora, as we see in the beginning. Then here, the sweat and wine I have underlined is a metaphor. What's a metaphor? sweat and whine refers to the cries and complaints of human beings. So it's a comparison between this, complaints of human beings, cries, sweat or whine. Okay, so let us move to the next lines. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me and accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession. You can see the meanings. Kneels means to bow down and to ask forgiveness all you beg. Evince means to show, to reveal. Possessions here means ownership. You own things. Token here is the quality. So in these particular lines, the poet says that he has never seen any animal showing his devotion to anyone by bowing down in front of the person. They never do so, even for their ancestors. They do not show devotion towards God like humans do. No one among them is more respectable or important as we have in human society. In human beings, rich people are generally given more importance and are treated with more respect as compared to the poor. But in the society of animals, they never do so. They never give more or less importance to any other animal. Anyone in the animal world is happy. They are not like human beings who find themselves the happiest or the saddest person on earth. Further, the poet says that animals are more honest in showing their relations with other animals. Here he wants to say that animals use other animals as their food and they never try to hide this. Whereas human beings show that they have nice and friendly relations with others, though the reality is not opposite. The poet says that he accepts the fact that animals are true towards showing their relation with other animals. In this lines also I have highlighted tokens as a metaphor. The line qualities of humans are referred to as tokens here. Okay, so it's a metaphor. So let us move to the last two lines. I wonder where they get these tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? Here negligent means carelessly. No? So in these lines, the poet wants to say, at first he tries to introspect himself and says that from where the animals got those good qualities. He further questions himself that where his own good qualities are gone. Did he leave them or had carelessly lose them somewhere? The qualities that were found in human beings in the past, like innocence, kindness, truthfulness, are now seen in humans or in animals. It is seen in animals, not in humans. He wonders that humans gave up these qualities and they have been passed on to the animals. So, if you see the rhyme scheme on the whole poem, here there is no rhyme scheme. So, it's a free verse because he followed the tradition of free verse, the poet Whitman. So, this is how I complete the explanation of this poem. Thank you. If you have any clarification, you can ask the teacher in the live interaction.